Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video, we're going to talk about a new AI-based feature that RingCentral has called Ringsense. And to bring this new feature and what it's all about and what it can do to you guys, I've got the one and only, yet again on the channel, Mr. James Kukulis with RingCentral. How you doing, James?
I'm doing well. How you doing there, Prince?
I'm doing pretty good, man, and I really appreciate you making the time today to be able to show off this new feature, not only to me, but to my viewers. Before we get into what RingSense is, what it does, and how it all came about to RingCentral, first and foremost, can you tell the viewers what it is that you do at RingCentral? What's your title and what do you do over there?
Sure. My name is, again, James Kukulis. I am a channel sales engineer, and my role is to specifically train and enable the partners on all things RingCentral, whether it be our core offering or, our platforms like RingSense or our contact center offering. So I make sure you guys are all trained and ready to give the best services out to your customer base.
Awesome, awesome. And before we get into this, for anybody who's watching and the name RingCentral, isn't familiar to them, or this is their first time ever hearing about RingCentral or what their role is in the market of phone systems and phone service, can you briefly tell the viewers who RingCentral is and what RingCentral does?
Yeah, sure. So RingCentral's been around since 1999, and we are the market leader in our unified communication solution. So we provide voice, video, and messaging to the desktop. And we also have our new AI platforms and contact center offerings all bundled in one. We're a one-stop shop.
Okay. I'm going to let you have free reign on this one. For people who watch this channel, they know that I typically have a pretty broad, specific list of questions to ask on whatever the topic is at hand. But since RingSense is very new to me and also new to the market, I'm going to let you run with this one, James. So my question for you is, what is RingSense? Roll with it.
All right. So what is RingSense? RingSense is a conversational intelligence platform. What it does, it uses artificial intelligence and communications data to automate work and provide insights that would not regularly be discoverable on the normal call reports, right? So if you think about it, your normal call reports are, looking at answered calls, abandoned calls, stuff like that, average speed of answer. What this is doing, this is giving you insight or giving management insight on the agent. Are they saying the words properly? Are they, using proper language? Are they saying keywords? Are they talking about promotions or concepts, right? If you're, a recruiter and you're talking about salary negotiations, you want to make sure they're talking about benefits, compensation, and stuff like that. So you're able to track all that data that's being spoken and a lot of the sentiment and stuff, which I'm going to show you now. And it does it through both AI and then there's a manual piece to it as well, right? Because management could go in and score the calls and give them, say, hey, this was a really great call, give them feedback on it. And you'll see how that fits in here on the application. So I'm looking forward to showing it. I'm going to do the demo on this is going to be a little different. It's going to actually be backwards. I like showing it at the admin level first because it makes more sense what you're looking at when I actually do the demo. So again, it's a browser-based application. It's not attached to our solution. So it's an independent platform to our, regular systems, right? And it just attaches to it. But what I'm going to do here, again, I'm going into the browser settings, right? And, I'm going to skip some of this stuff, but this is just the users, who's using it within the system. Are they on the sales team? Are they the tech support team? And what, roles do they have, right? But where I want to first start the focus is on the integrations, right? So we can also tie calls, not only voice calls, but video calls as well as contact center calls. You can tie them to leads or, deals that you got going on through different CRMs, right? So we integrate with Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, Dynamics, Outreach, right? And then we also offer this on a wide variety of phone offerings, right? So Nice and Contact, we offer this on RingCentral Phone. We on this on RingCX, as well as Connect and Sell. So those are platforms even outside of our own that we offer that. So as long as we can grab that data, we can, provide the information. You see, we also do it on video. We also do it on calendaring and our, the 365 Outlook connections. Now, the good stuff here is tracking, right? So these are, some of the things that, you want to track. You want to track like what we call a RingCentral band is a budget, authority, needs, timeline. So you want to track, who's the authority, time frame, who's the decision maker, who's signing the deal and stuff like that, driving factors, business requirements, or maybe your tech support. You want to see, if people are complaining about long wait times, like, I need a case number or open a case or open ticket, unhappy, words like that. I'm very unhappy with my service. So you're able to track these things. We're also able to track who's saying it. So here I can mention the competitors being mentioned by our customers, and I can also track the competition being mentioned by the agents on the system, because I don't want my agents saying, who our customers are and stuff like that. So this has given management a good idea, who's saying what, as well as the agents as well. Whoever has access to the insights, you get to see it. But what it also does, not only keywords, it also gives you concept tracking as well. So like if you're talking about salary negotiations or benefits or, different things here. So you could see, here we're talking about scheduling an interview, giving people a warm welcome. So it's making sure, hey, how are you today? I want to make sure. So it can track that. The AI components can see if you're, giving people a warm welcome, or maybe you're talking about salary negotiation and benefits and, maybe stock options and stuff like that. So it's going to track, those
So
concepts as well.
just to make sure I understand this as well as the viewers, this is the component of Ringsense. This is an AI component that is tracking the phone conversation based on these different categories.
Correct. Now, these are the trackers that you, the end user, is putting in that you want to track. The AI is going to do a whole bunch of stuff, which you're going to see.
But you can turn this, okay, so you're saying you can turn this on or off with the ticker over there.
Correct.
Of whether you want the AI to track this and then include it within, I guess, the report dump or the analytics dump that it gives on a particular call.
Correct. Yeah, this is what we want to track personally as my company, right?
Gotcha.
And then there's reports that go along with the scorecards. And then there's scoring. This is also the manual part of it, right? This is like you going in and listening to my calls and say, okay, how would you represent how Jimmy, did the call? Did he ask all the proper questions? Did he ask for a valid driver's license, and stuff like that? So this is where you go in and you give me a score because you listen to the call, and you can also add notes to those scores. So these are predefined questions that we want to make sure that the managers are listening to the call and saying, okay, did the rep do this? Did the rep do that? Did they clearly state X, Y, and Z, so forth and so on? So these, again, you make, right? So really cool stuff. And then there's other organizational stuff. This would be for an on-site demo if you guys want to see it at another time, right? So now I want to jump into what it looks like. So again, I'm logged in as an admin because I like showing it from the admin perspective because it really flows. But if I was a rep, there'd be calls here. If I was, part of a team, which I am, you could see it here. But I'm going to go to all calls just because it's what I'm familiar with doing my demo, right? So what you see out of the gate here is every phone call, right? Whether it's a physical phone call, a video call, a contact center call, right? And I could see this call got scored a 7, right? It's going to give you an AI report of what, the AI scored this call as in why. And you'll see this in more view in a second, right? It's going to show me who made the call, which was Paul. It's going to show me there was one other person on the call. It was an outbound call to Alicia, right? The date and time of the call, the duration of the call. And you can see if I click on it, it gives me all this summary all over again, right? It's going to give me all this information over again. But what I'm going to do is look at a real detailed view of this call. So if you see in one of our other videos, this may look familiar, this screen, but this is the more detailed version of what we were saying. Now, this is Ringsense for sales. We have the Ringsense for phone, which just gives you basic transcription. This is giving you insights, right? So what's different here, you get to see first, Paul made this call, and you can see there was a deal associated with it, whether they won or lost the deal or it's still open, right? You're able to track different keywords and stuff. But what I want to do is I'm going to go back to the screen for a second, and I want to show you a different methodology of looking for a call. So again, I'm back at where I just started. Now, say I'm in the insurance business, right? And I want to see how many times my agent mentioned maybe Progressive auto insurance. So I could do a keyword search on anything that I want to on these calls. And you could see there were 3 calls where the reps mentioned Progressive. Two of them got scored a 6, which, I'd rather them be a 7, 8, or a 9, right? Or even a 10 at that much. So, maybe I'm going to look at this call in more detail. So I can see they mentioned progressive here. That's what the competitor mentioned in the conversation, right? So again, I go to the call details of the call, and then I could see all this here. So what it does, it gives you an overview of the call. I can listen to the call and hit play. I can click to certain parts of the call, right? I don't just have to listen to it from the start. You can see now I jump to the 10-minute mark of the call. I hear it in my ear
Yeah.
right now. But again, I can get a full transcript of the call, right? So word
Wow.
for word, right, of both people talking, or it could be 10 people on the call, everybody talking. It's going to track, each person and their pieces. Now it's going to give me the AI coach, right? So this is what you saw in the little green or yellow circle in the AI scoring. These were the insights that the AI gave us, and they're going to constantly learn as they learn your business. So the agent displayed exceptional patience during the conversation, likely remained calm, attentive, understanding. Right? Those are the positive ones. There are a couple ones here that have a little flag. The agent was clear and effective, but could improve more on infusing more energy into the conversation. So needs to have another Red Bull or another cup of coffee, to get going and get the energy flowing on those calls. So this is the AI generated feedback that it's giving you based on, the information on the call. Here are the trackers, right? So we're tracking both competition mentioned. So here's where we were talking about progressive. So you can see every time they mention the word progressive in here, but you can also track, how many times, there was objections or something like that, more of the concept handling instead of keywords. Like you want to track, again, here a keywords issue, maybe insurance jargon and stuff like that, or companies mentioning the competition or something like that. So companies mentioned here by a recruiter. So that was one of the things that we were talking about. Again, it's going to give you a list of questions and answers. It's also going to give you open-ended questions like, hey, we got to get this piece. We got to get signatures on this. We're going to send you a quote. Anything that was left
Next steps.
open,
Yeah.
we're going to give you the next steps, like send emails to everybody
Or
and let's
action
schedule the
items.
next meeting. Right, exactly. So think about it. If you're doing a quote for somebody, these are things. Okay, at the end of the call, you can say, okay, these are the open items that I have for you. We're going to get a quote over to you guys. We're going to get next call. We're going to schedule, and we're going to get the decision makers, involved in the call and stuff like that. So you're able to get all that.
And you're saying that this, because it sounds like this component of RingSense obviously is more geared for sales teams.
Correct.
But you're saying this can also tie into their CRM, like Salesforce, Zoho,
Correct.
or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to
Wow.
see that in the deals tab when we get in there next, right?
Okay.
So this view here, what we're looking at here, like the overview. I call this kind of like the final view. It gives you the full details of the call. So here I can leave feedback at any point of the call. I can leave feedback at the 10-minute mark and say, hey, Bill, great job, nice work, right? I can come over here and anybody can leave a comment. Managers leave feedback. Anybody in the office who listens to it can leave a comment. Hey, I love what you did there. That was great. Good learning thing there. Here's the scorecard where the managers would go in and score the call, right? These were those questions that I showed you that we built ahead of time. How do you rate the overall performance of the call? It was a 5. I can add notes in here. Maybe I gave them a 3 and said, hey, next time do X, Y, and Z, or say, X, Y, and Z, right? Then there's other questions here, right? So you could see all the different questions, and then all these get tabulated, and you can go in here and look at the scoring of each agent. So really powerful stuff there when somebody listens to the call and gives it.
Gotcha.
The AI also provides highlights, right? So it's going to give you summaries of the call based on that. And there's also manual highlights that you can add in there manually as well if you wanted to do so. You can download the transcription or the recording of the call. You could share it with others, right? So really powerful stuff. You can go in here, share it with anybody.
For the sharing, inside or outside of your
Inside the
organization?
organization. Yeah, anybody
Okay.
who has access to RingSense, right? And then there's also a library, so you can create folders. Good call, good discovery call, poor call, don't do this call, right? And you can put those folders in there where they can go back
Huh.
into the library, and you can have new trainees going in there and say, okay, today I want you guys to listen to, great discovery calls, right? And you can go into the folder and listen to all the calls, right? Or poor discovery calls, what not to do on a call type kind of stuff like that. So you'll have access to the library. So again, really cool stuff here. So again, this is the full detailed view of a call, and everything, as you're going to see, funnels back to this view. So I'll just call this the final view. So the next thing, what I want to do, if you're using like say Salesforce, we use Salesforce internally here. So like we would track deals within Salesforce. So again, this I'm doing in a demo environment, so this is all fictitious stuff. So what you're going to see here, again, because I'm just in as an admin, I'm just going to all deals so you can kind of see it. So I really love this screen. This is really good. There's some really cool stuff here that I love showing in the demo. So again, this is showing all the deals, all the calls made or video calls made that were related to an opportunity because you're linking those calls within Salesforce or Zoho, right? So let's just say somebody, if I'm going to use SBR Express, and let's just pretend it was open, and instead of January 14th, let's just pretend it was last week for the call. I can go in here. The customer can call me and say, hey, Jim, no, I haven't heard from anybody in weeks on your call, or whatever the case may be, or hey, they did a really great job last week. I'm just waiting on the quote. Can you tell me what's going on, right? So in any of those cases, you can just type in the name of the company and it's going to say, oh, well, Mr. Customer, I see we did speak with you last week and the week before. The last 2 weeks, we spoke to you 4 times. So you can actually see the calls. You can actually see the topics that were discussed. There were 12 topics, discussed. We talked about unlimited mileage plans. We talked about trucking policies, your premiums, multiple truck options, monthly payments, grace period, all the way down the line, right? So it gives you key components here that were discussed. So again, you can start off the gate with, if it's a defensive call, you could say, hey, these are the things we discussed with you over the last 2 weeks. Or if it was a positive call saying, hey, yeah, we're all working on these items here. This is what we have. It's showing you customer objections, so these are the objections. And then it's also showing you factors that can go in here that will help, win, the opportunity or the deal, right? So these are the things that need to be addressed, or in this case, open items that, you guys were addressing on the call. So again, it's providing that right out of the gate. But again, if I want to, get more detailed on it, you would say, well, nobody's called me or Jimmy hasn't called me. I could say, well, let me check. I can click on Monday's call. I can see you're right. Jimmy didn't call you. It was Tonya. Tonya called you. If you want more details on the call, again, you can click it, get the summary view, or you can go into the full detailed view.
And it's able to do all that because on the back end, in a live environment, it's connected up through an API to their Salesforce.
Correct.
Like there's no data they're having to manually enter into RingCentral or anything. It's
all
because
there.
It's okay.
Yeah, and you can see here if I wanted, I can view the deal within Salesforce. Obviously,
wow.
I would need to log in.
Yeah.
So that's what the deal integration page looks like. So again, really powerful stuff, especially in the sales environment, but also, again, don't limit it just to sales. This would work great for customer service as well. So we call it sales just because the first package is geared towards sales. And you'll see in the setup menu, there's a lot of sales setup there. But again, don't, if you're a customer service organization or, whoever wants this, insights on their calls, really powerful stuff. And then to move it along, just real quick, again, you can see a scorecard, and this is from the scoring of the calls. This is where you go in there and you see all the managers, how many calls they listened to, how many they scored, how many got feedback, how many people commented on calls. You got a leaderboard here. It shows you all the different categories, the activities that you're doing here. And it shows you, again, this is our demo environment, so it isn't that up to date. But you can see here, I could click, on Jim Harris's 2 calls here. And again, it brings me to the calls, and then I can go into the detailed view again. So again, really powerful stuff from a coaching aspect, right? So that is the coaching screen, right? So that's the scorecard. The other cool thing is it shows you power skills. Now, this is really cool, right? So what this gives you a couple things. It gives you total calls. It gives you duration of calls, right? So I'm going to have to go here and just up this to all time here just to get some data in here, right?
Gotcha.
So here I can see like the talking energy of the call, right? So if I click on talking energy, I can see all the people. I can see Sarah has the most talking energy, right? And I can see Donna has the least talking. And you can see the trends of each person within these, graphs and stuff that we provide. But it could be patience.
When you say talking energy, and this is kind of a trick question, I'm throwing you a little bit of a curveball here. What is it scoring on when it says talking energy? Does it mean like enthusiasm? Does it mean talking too much or talking too little or engaging? And I guess my question is what is it the AI is detecting or looking for?
Right. So in this case, talking energy, it's giving you a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being positive and, again, 1 being there. It's the pitch of the call, the excitement of the call.
Gotcha.
It's reading all that. Talk to listen ratio is just that, how much percentage of the call where the sales rep spoke versus that, right?
That's cool. I really like that. This isn't to shame any of my sales folks because my sales team is excellent, but one of the things that I teach them, so here's a real life example for you guys, the viewers watching this, of how something like this would be beneficial to us. Because you've almost sold me on this, James. One of the things I teach my sales team internally is I don't even like to call ourselves salespersons. We like to call ourselves consultants. I don't believe that our mission is to sell people things. I believe our mission is to help people solve a problem or find what they're looking for. And I believe the only way, and this is exactly how I train my sales team since day one, I believe the only way that you can do that is by listening. By really listening to what clients are saying bothers them, what they don't like about their current solution, what they're looking for in their current solution, and just step back and listen. And so I like the fact that this has AI that, there has been times in sales meetings where I listen to, my sales team's calls and I go back to them. We do bi-weekly trainings where I train them personally and I go back to them and I say, hey, so I listened to some of your calls and this is what I think. And naturally, I get it. Sometimes I'll get some pushback, but it's so much easier if I can go to them with definitive data, not only what I heard, but also definitive data from an AI saying, look, it's not just me. The AI is saying you talk too damn much on the phone. And so I love this. Like, this is great. I don't believe you should go 100% off AI, but this is extremely helpful to be able to go to good salespeople that genuinely want improvement, and be able to say, hey, this was my opinion after listening to your call or looking at the report, but this is also the opinion of the AI. So how can we work on this?
Right. and that's the first of all, you talk too much. I think that was a song, or that's a good name for a song, I'd say. But
yeah,
exactly your point. Here we measure interruptions. You can see how many times people interrupted, right? You could use patience, the time in between question and answers. SEs like myself, we love to answer those calls as quick and be the first one.
yeah,
But like you said, it pays to sit and listen versus there. So you can measure
yeah.
the interruptions versus patience. So again, all great stuff. Again, you can see this stuff in more detail. And the last thing, I just want to quick trackers. We track all those keywords, and this is just kind of, again, I just switched the date here. We give you a scoreboard of how many things that you're tracking are being spoken, and you can see here, it's very detailed. And again, I could click on how many times, there were
Wow.
objections and handlings, and it will bring you, and it will show you all the calls. And again, you can click on them. And not only can you view your agents, you can also view the customers as well. So again, really powerful stuff here. So that's a quick summary of Ringsense for sales. Again, I can spend an hour on this, so I know we only got a limited time for video, but
Yeah.
we're very excited about this offering. It does, it works both in our regular core offering as well as our contact center RingCX offering, and we're very excited about this, and it's getting a lot of heads turning, and, people are really starting to think differently, with all these new features they get with all the AI coming out, how to operate your business. So very exciting stuff.
This is incredible because it's like, of course, RingCentral is going to have all the normal, great advanced, basic to advanced reporting that you guys have always had. But this, to me, is like an extra layer using the help of AI, something that's just always listening and analyzing to be
Right.
able to now have a way to look at those numbers in the reports and then look at this and kind of make more sense out of it. And also have two different sets of data to be able to dare and compare. I'm sold. Like and I'm not just saying this for you guys, the viewers who are watching this. Like, I'm sitting here looking at it like, can I convince my accountant that we should upgrade to this? Like,
Absolutely.
that brings me to my next question before we wrap this up. Is this included in the regular, like, RingCentral Pro, Essentials, or RingCentral MVP, or is it an add-on? Or you don't have to give me exact price, but how does this work? Is it part of the package, or is it an extra per user thing, or what is its structure?
So there's three flavors, right? As I mentioned, there's RingSense for phone. That's the phone user. That's going to be a license, which is going to be available in the MVP. This is not what I showed you here, right? RingSense for phone will just be transcription and summaries of the call. That's going to be on a per user basis, and it's not that's still in beta, and we're getting ready to to officially roll that out soon. There should be an announcement, right? And then what I
Okay.
just showed you now is RingSense for Sales. That is available right now, and that is on a user basis, right? So if you have 5 salespeople, but you have 100 people on your system, you only need the 5 licenses for those 5 salespeople, or any maybe a manager who wants to use it. So that's at a per license cost. And then RingSense for CX, which is our contact center offering. Again, it's a per user, in that case, per agent, license. And again, it provides the insights to the agent. Again, the same fashion. So pricing you'd have to get with your rep. Again, I'm training and enablement, but that
Wow, that is
licensing is on
impressive.
a per user basis.
How, you don't have to give me exact numbers, but like, are we talking like a little on the pricier side, like a contact center
Oh
license, or no,
no,
nothing like
definitely
that?
not. I'd say
Okay.
it's around the $60 mark. I'll say somewhere around there per user license. Again, depending on the environment, the contact center, the CX license is a little different. I think you're paying about $30 to $40 there
That
for
is
a
incredible.
named agent, and we also have concurrent seats. I forgot what the cost on the concurrent seats run.
Okay. Well, James, thank you so much for showing me and the viewers this. I am genuinely impressed, and I'm really curious and excited to see what the comments section on this video. I'm sure you know how it is in this age of AI. You're going to have the naysayers, you're going to have the people that are in support of it. But I feel like from what you showed me today, anybody that has a small to medium or large sales team that doesn't have anything like this in place already, especially if they don't have a lot of time. I mean, me as not only a CEO, but as a sales manager, yes, I make the time bi-weekly to personally train my sales team every 2 weeks. I don't hire somebody else to do it. I do it myself. But even then, even if I wanted to, I don't have the time or the energy or the resources or the tools to be able to extract that kind of data out of the dozens and dozens of calls that we have just in a single month. This is incredible. So, anywho, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here and for making the time to show this to me and our viewers. I really appreciate it.
No problem. My pleasure. Anytime, you know that. So looking forward to our next video.
Yeah, man. For those of you, the viewers who are watching this, if you like what you've seen and you'd like to learn more, maybe you'd like to speak with one of our contacts at RingCentral to be able to have them show you an even more in-depth demo of some of the things that, because as James said, this does a lot more than what we covered today. But obviously, in the interest of your time and not having you watch a YouTube video that's an hour to an hour and a half long, we can connect you up with a RingCentral contact of ours that we work with on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis that can not only talk to you more about your business and what it is that you require, but show you the aspects of the RingCentral platform and RingSense that are more relative to your business features and what you need. On top of that, you'll also get access to our special pricing by going through us. And our consulting service, as always, since the inception of us doing this, is free to you because we're paid by referral by the service providers. So if you're interested in chatting with me and my team to see if RingCentral is a good fit, either the RingCentral platform in general or RingCentral and also RingSense, our information will always be below this video or below anywhere this video is in our blog or any of our shorts. So that being said, thanks for watching, and as always, this is Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.